What's up, y'all? Toya here, and I am back with another video for y'all. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Alright, y'all. So today, we got another episode of Toya Reacts, where I react to anything and everything gig related. So today, we got another 3 videos we gotta react to. Another 3 videos. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
This is a good example of what not to do when you're an Amazon Flex driver. This guy is not separating his packages out at all. So at all of his stops, he is gonna have to dig in that trunk right there. And I mean, literally dig through every package to find what it is he needs. And that's what you don't do. If you put them in order like 1 through 10 and 11 through 20, then you can very easily find your packages as you stop. Just a recommendation.
Alright, y'all, so this one is for my flex drivers. So yes, this guy does look like he's using a marker method, but it doesn't seem like he has any type of organization of where he's putting the packages. We could be wrong, you know, we're just on the outside looking in. But even then, you really gotta have some type of organization when it comes to these packages. Now, I did do a video on how to organize your car for these Amazon Flex routes. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. The video is a little bit older, but all the methods, they still apply. Now, the only thing that I did not mention in that video is using the scan tool feature. Now, for those who don't do Amazon Flex whatsoever, package organization in your car is a huge deal. The last thing you want to do is be digging in your car in front of somebody's house trying to find that package. That's literally what happened to me on my very first route on Flex. I didn't watch any type of videos whatsoever. I just dove right into it. I don't know what I was thinking. But long story short, I loaded up my car. I just threw everything in my car, no type of organization whatsoever. When I got to my first delivery, I opened up my trunk and I was just digging through all these packages. I legit was digging in my car for a little bit over 5 minutes. Tell me why some lady across the street come out looking at me, talking about, hey, do you need help? You know, do you belong here? And I'm like, you know, I wasn't in the right neighborhood to be digging through the trunk. And what made it worse is I didn't have my vest yet. At that time, that station, they didn't have any more vests. So I'm out there with just a hoodie. I got my locks. And, you know, like I said, I didn't look like I belonged. So that wasn't a good look at all. So I learned very quickly that you have to have some sort of organization in your vehicle, because that's the last thing you want to do is to be digging up in your car in front of somebody's house. And especially if it's at nighttime, like, you do not want to be digging in your car when the sun is down. Like, somebody could just pull up on you, boom, that's it. Like, nah. Besides safety, you need to go ahead and make sure everything is organized for efficiency purposes. I personally sort everything by stop. So that way, I literally reach over in my passenger seat, I grab that package that I need to drop off, walk up to their door, boom, delivery. Get back in my car, drive to the next stop. The next delivery is right there in my passenger seat. So I just grab and go. And as my passenger seat starts to get empty, I'll pull more from out of my back seat or my trunk, wherever I got the rest of the packages, and I fill them up here in my passenger seat. So that's my method. That's what I do. And in regards to that scan tool feature, now at the time when I initially recorded my first video about the different methods on how to load the car, I had no idea that the scan tool existed. And since I discovered it, I've actually been using it more frequently. So I still organize by stop, but I use the scan tool feature to be a little bit more efficient when looking for those packages instead of just digging through the cart trying to find out what package goes to this stop, and this stop. Literally take your phone, scan the barcode on the package, boom, it pops up telling you what stop it is. So if I need to set that to the side, or if I need to put it in between these packages or whatever, I know exactly what stop is in my hand. I don't have to go through the whole list trying to match it to, you know, whatever stop. So makes things a lot easier. Now, if you guys do want me to do a video on going over how to use that scan tool feature, let me know in the comments. It'll be a pretty quick video, but I guess I could probably do a recap on how to load your packages more efficiently. But like I said, if you guys want to see that, just let me know. But yes, safety and efficiency, super important when you're doing flex delivery. You do not want to just have all those packages yeah, you got to have some type of organization. But moving on to the next video.
From a delivery service, and the driver decides to take several bites before it gets to you. That's what happened to an owner of a Long Beach restaurant.
Sorry.
He's claiming that tonight. As Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes shows us, he has proof of the crime in action.
If there's one thing better than a finely prepared meal, it's a finely prepared meal delivered to your home, something food delivery services like Grubhub have popularized in the past few years. But one thing Americans aren't sinking their teeth into is the thought of a delivery driver sinking his teeth into your food.
I noticed that he was untying the bag and started chowing down on the food.
Martin Luzania is the CEO of Mexihana's Hibachi Grill in Long Beach. He says his surveillance cameras caught this Grubhub driver pulling into his parking lot Wednesday night, picking up a delivery order, then spending the next several minutes eating from that order.
I went outside and I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, oh, this is my lunch. So I said, yo, I'm sorry if that's your food. I'm very, very sorry. So I came back in, I reviewed the cameras, and it was actually a customer's food that he was enjoying.
Luzania says he called that customer more than a dozen times, eventually reaching him and warning him to throw the food away.
Just said, I'm actually making your food right now for you guys, and I'll be personally delivering it to you.
Now, Grubhub declined our request for an interview, instead sending us a written statement saying, in part, the vast majority of our orders are completed without incident or complaint, and when things don't go as planned, we work hard to make things right. Upon hearing of this situation, we took immediate action and suspended the driver from our platform. Now, in cases like this, where the driver is actually caught on camera, that reflects poorly on Grubhub. But all the other cases where the driver isn't recorded, well, it's the restaurant that looks bad.
Grubhub hits us back and says, hey, you know what? This customer didn't get enough shrimp, or this customer didn't get his fried rice, or this customer didn't get his garlic noodles. Well, of course, your drivers are buffeting on their food. So who pays for it? We do.
Meantime, he's hoping videos like this, as rare as they are, will help take a bite out of crime.
I hope he never delivers to
Boy, oh boy. First of all, I was stuck as soon as I opened up that link. Delivery. Just a typo, but still, it was kind of funny. But man, if you was gonna eat somebody's food, you would think that the smart thing to do would be to leave the parking lot and go to another location so the restaurant owner wouldn't see you. But you know, who am I? But no, I'm not saying to do that. I am definitely not saying to do that. But no, this is the thing. So these are the type of people who give delivery drivers a bad name. And this is probably why a lot of people don't want to tip, because they don't want to get G like this. Like, if you that hungry, just like, bro, the little bit of money that you made from that delivery, I'm pretty sure you could go to McDonald's or wherever, get you a little burger, call it a day. Like, going into somebody else's food that they paid for and just chowing down, like, no type of remorse whatsoever, that's But the fact that this man had the audacity to do it in the same parking lot where he just parked to go pick up the food. So you went in the restaurant, grabbed the food, came into your car, sat it down, and you're like, you know what? I can't wait. So you just grabbing the joint, just, bro, like legit. You are dumb. You deserve to be deactivated from the platform. Like, you can't even steal right. How you steal wrong? Like, you legit don't even know how to steal food right. Like, if you gonna steal something, do it with some type of discretion. Like, bro, that is wild. But that was nice of the guy to take time out of his day to go ahead and, well, one, remake the food, because not everybody would do that. And the fact that he went and took it to the customer himself. Like, he didn't have to do that. You know, honestly, the only thing he really had to do was report them to Grubhub and call it a day, move on to the next order. But yeah, kudos to him for notifying the customer and, like I said, taking the time out to, you know, remake the food and take it to the customer. But yeah, that whole thing when it comes to, like, when people say that stuff is missing, like, yeah, there probably are some cases where people go ahead and do eat the food, but I ain't gonna lie, sometimes, like, you know, some stuff might get missed. Sometimes the driver might forget something, and honestly, sometimes customers, they just lie. They legit just lie. So, you know, human error is a thing. Like I said, if you forget something, you know, it is what it is. But just to blatantly go and just eat on somebody's food, like, I've seen plenty of videos where people eat the food, they spit in the food, they violated the food in ways that I can't even mention on this channel. Like, I don't understand why people take the time out of the day to do that. It's like, oh, you're not gonna tip, so I'm gonna go ahead and whatever. So yeah, I wonder if that's another case of the order not having a tip on it and the driver felt the need to do something to the food, so they felt like, oh, if I ain't gonna get a tip, let me go ahead and get a bite. Because I've seen some people do that. Oh, you didn't give me a tip, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip of this, or I'm gonna take a bite of this, or whatever. And granted, I'm hoping that it's fake, because you know, you never know nowadays. Some stuff is staged. Like the last video that I had just reacted on with that $400 grocery order, you know, whether it was staged or not, like that's still something that does happen on a regular. But yeah, this case, like, I don't know why people take the time out of their day to violate somebody's food like that. Either take the order, deliver it, call it a day, take that L, or just decline it. That's why there's a decline button. Doing all this extra stuff, you know, risking, you know, getting yourself deactivated, and then guess what? You get deactivated, you ain't gonna be able to make no money, period. So why even risk doing something dumb like that just so you can go ahead and get back at a customer that didn't give you a tip? Now you ain't got no way to make no type of money, you know, at least not on that platform. You got to go do something else. But yeah, it is what it is. But luckily, I haven't had an instance where it looked like somebody ate my food. I hope nobody ate my food when I have ordered for delivery. So yeah. All right, moving on to the last video.
Back. You gotta go quicker. Go quicker. Go quicker! Mate,
Why is this driveway so steep?
you gotta go quicker or you ain't going.
And it's like, is that gravel?
Come on, 'cause otherwise we're
No, just a jacked up driveway. Oh man, that's expensive. Oh. How's he gonna get out? Oh my God. Whew. I felt the money leaving my bank account with that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like, you ever run over a pothole and you just like, oh my God, that feels so expensive. Like, I just, whew. Like, that's how I felt when I heard that crunch when he went, ugh. That was tragic. That was legit tragic. Obviously, this is somewhere overseas, but there have definitely been some cases where I've run into some very steep driveways. Not going down like that, but it was pretty bad. Like, living in the Chicagoland area, you don't really expect to see like anything crazy when it comes to like, you know, steep driveways or just like crazy terrain to get to people's houses. Like, you know, obviously some towns, they're kind of like, you know, remote and like in the woods type of thing. I've delivered to places like that. But this particular instance, I was doing Flex, and this is before I started my channel. I was doing Amazon Flex, and I went to Indiana. I forgot the town. I think it was Portage, something like that. But it was kind of near the lake. Yeah, I had went into this crazy, like, secluded, I don't know, the area, it was just winding roads, you know, all the houses were separated by like maybe a block and a half, and you know, I'm just going through and I'm like, man, these houses, they like, you know, some of them are nice or whatever. And then I get to where I thought I had to deliver the package, and it was this super steep driveway. I kid you not. Started going up that driveway, my car stalled halfway up there. And I'm just rolling back. And, you know, there's a tree line behind me too. So I'm like, okay, I got to brake. I don't want to just bust through the woods, right? And I'm able to go ahead and park and settle or whatever. And keep in mind, I have a Jeep. And no, it's not a Wrangler. It's not for off-road. I know that. But I was just thinking that I could kind of handle that steepness, but I guess not. So I had to jog up that driveway to deliver the package. And come to find out, that wasn't even the right house, because the GPS for Amazon kind of sent me off. It was actually the house behind them. I went through their yard because I wasn't about to go drive back down. And like I said, the way that area was, like, it wasn't like oh, you just turn the corner and boom, there go the house. Like, no, you had to go down some more, come back up, turn and do all the, like, no. So I went through their yard to drop off the package at the house where it was supposed to be. That was fun. And no, I didn't jump any fences or anything like that. It was literally just open yard, and their yard was sand too. It was an interesting property. Yeah, some of these places, like, you gotta put like some type of warning on these houses, because like if you got that steep of a driveway and only certain vehicles may be able to make it up there, you don't know what that driver's driving, you know. You gonna have to leave some type of disclaimer and be like, hey, you know, be careful. You might stall out. You might not make it back over. If you come in here, you might not make it back. Yeah, sometimes you just don't know until you in there. But this is the thing, I guess in this case, this person sees a car in the driveway already, so they're like, oh, it's a little steep, but they made it in there, so maybe I can make it. Yeah, they was wrong. They were wrong. And like I said, hopefully those damages aren't too bad. Now, I do have a question. I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I do have a question for you guys. Now, I don't know if you noticed my post that I put in the community tab a couple weeks ago, but on my last Amazon Flex delivery, I got a violation for property damage. Okay. And if you guys haven't seen that video, you can check it out and you can be the judge of it yourselves. Okay. But I got a violation for property damage because I pulled into the customer's driveway and my tires left marks from the construction that was going on the main road. And if you guys have been following me for a bit, you know that sometimes I pull into driveways, sometimes I don't. It's on a case-by-case basis. But in this particular instance, I pulled in because there was construction and there were vehicles going up and down. So knowing that Amazon is not going to reimburse me if my car gets damaged in any shape or form, you know, I opted to pull into the driveway to get out of the way from the construction vehicles. And my car took some of that freshly paved road and left a few little streaks on there, right? A few streaks on the driveway. And they called that property damage. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on what you think about that. It is still an ongoing thing because I sent them my body cam footage to show that there was no signage posted, because according to the rep I spoke with, they said that there was signage posted not to drive in the driveway. But in my view, there's nothing stopping anybody from pulling in. I'm in my driveway right now and I'm looking at my joint. This joint beat up, you know, it's doing what it's supposed to do. You know, you drive on it. So, you know, am I tripping about my raggedy driveway? Nah. And even if I did get it repaved, which I might before I move, am I gonna trip if there's some marks left on it? Nah. You know, I need to see the resolution of this. Once I finally get a resolution to that driveway situation, I'm going to let you guys know everything, because I mean, I personally, I just don't find that to be like property damage. It's a driveway. Driveways are meant to be driven on. And if it wasn't me, somebody else was gonna go ahead and put marks on that driveway, which somebody else did before me. It's literally all on my body cam that there were other marks on that driveway before I got there. So yeah, we're gonna see the resolution to that, and I'm gonna make a separate video on that, going over everything and my thoughts on that situation, because yeah, that's crazy. But I do want to know you guys' opinion when it comes to pulling into people's driveways. Are you for it? Are you against it? Do you think it just depends on the situation? You know, like I said, me personally, it's a case-by-case basis. Sometimes I pull in if, one, I need to get out of the way, especially if it's on a main road, there's no parking, or if I have to turn back around, you know, I might pull in so it's a little bit easier for me to just come out and go instead of, you know, going around the street or trying to bust a turn in the street, you know, something like that. And simply just to be closer to the door for safety purposes. This is something that I mentioned in one of my safety videos. You know, sometimes I like to close the distance just to be safe. So especially if it's a super long driveway. So I would like to know you guys' thoughts on that. Yes. Yes. But that's really all I got for this video, guys. So if you guys want to send me any videos to react to, make sure you send it to toyadrives1@gmail.com, and I might feature it in a video. Now, before you guys go, again, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss a video. But that's all I got for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. And as always, stay safe out there and keep grinding.